Have you ever wondered what quietly happens inside your body while you sleep? Welcome to the Sleepy Science Stories. We're about to explore the astonishing secrets of your own cells, bones, and organs. Hidden processes so extraordinary they go unnoticed every single day. So relax, breathe, and join me as we uncover the remarkable mysteries that make you endlessly fascinating. Let's begin with something truly astonishing. Your body is never at rest. Even as you lie quietly, breathing softly, around 25 million new cells are forming every single second. That adds up to roughly 1.5 billion cells each minute, all dividing, specializing, and organizing themselves to repair tissues, refresh your skin, replenish your blood, and replace the hidden wear and tear of life. Most of this occurs without you feeling a thing. Inside your bones, marrow produces fresh red blood cells. Your gut lining renews itself in rhythmic waves, and your skin, though it seems static, is in constant motion. In fact, you shed a complete layer of skin every 28 to 30 days as old cells gently flake away and are replaced by fresh ones rising from deeper layers. Over the course of a year, this adds up to roughly 8 pounds of skin leaving your body. Yet your skin never runs out. It regenerates with remarkable precision, forming a living barrier between you and the world, always ready, always changing. Your stomach is too a marvel of renewal. Filled with acid potent enough to dissolve metal, it somehow avoids self-digestion. This is thanks to a protective lining of cells that renews every 3 to 4 days, forming a barrier between your tissues and harsh digestive acids. Without this continuous regeneration, your stomach would quickly suffer ulcers and damage. While you rest, tiny cellular factories in your gut are quietly rebuilding, keeping this protective shield perpetually young and resilient. Your bones, too, are in constant flux. Though they feel solid and permanent, they are never truly static. Specialized cells called osteoclasts break down old bone tissue, while osteoblasts construct new material in its place, a process known as bone remodeling. This silent renewal reshapes your skeleton based on your movements, diet, and even sleep patterns. Over roughly a decade, your entire skeleton is renewed cell by cell. Bones strengthen where needed, dissolve where they aren't. Even in stillness, your body is sculpting itself from within, a quiet, ongoing evolution. And then there's your liver, a master of regeneration. Amazingly, it can rebuild itself completely from just a quarter of its tissue, restoring full function after injury or surgery. The liver is truly one of the body's most remarkable organs. It is the only internal organ capable of regenerating itself fully, even after significant injury or surgical removal. Astonishingly, if only a quarter of the liver remains, it can grow back into a complete, fully functioning organ. This extraordinary resilience has fascinated humans for millennia, even appearing in ancient Greek mythology, where Prometheus's liver was said to be eaten and restored daily. In reality, the liver's regenerative powers are both awe-inspiring and essential. It carries out more than 500 distinct functions, from filtering toxins from the blood to metabolizing nutrients, producing vital proteins, and neutralizing harmful chemicals. To perform these countless tasks, it must remain whole. When damaged, it does not simply scar. Instead, it rebuilds itself cell by cell, restoring strength and function quietly yet tirelessly. Equally astonishing is the world within your gut. Your digestive system is home to trillions of microorganisms, outnumbering the human cells in your body. This ecosystem, called the gut microbiome, consists of bacteria, fungi, and viruses living in perfect harmony with you. They aid digestion, regulate immune responses, manufacture vitamins, and even influence mood and brain chemistry. Some researchers refer to the microbiome as an invisible organ because its impact is so profound and integrated. At birth, your gut is nearly sterile, but within days it becomes a thriving, personalized ecosystem. You are not simply a single organism, you are a colony, human and microbial, coexisting and evolving together in quiet cooperation.
Your brain is another hidden powerhouse. Soft and silent, it generates enough electrical energy to power a small light bulb. Every moment, billions of neurons fire tiny electrochemical signals, forming a network so vast it resembles a living circuit board. These impulses control everything from memory and language to breathing and blinking, yet you rarely feel a thing. Your mind is literally lit from within, a softly glowing engine of thought humming behind every sensation, every decision, every dream. Even your bones are full of surprises. While they may seem fragile, ounce for ounce, human bone is stronger than steel. A single cubic inch can support more than 10,000 pounds without breaking. The secret lies in its design, a porous, lattice-like structure combining rigidity with flexibility. Collagen fibers reinforced with crystals of calcium phosphate create a living composite engineered by nature itself. Bones are not only strong, they are dynamic. They heal, adapt, and self-repair continuously. Your skeleton is an extraordinary feat of natural engineering, elegant, efficient, and enduring. Your fingernails are constantly growing, but they do so at subtly different speeds. The nails on your dominant hand usually grow faster than those on your non-dominant side. If you're right-handed, your right nails tend to outpace the left. This difference likely arises from increased blood flow and the tiny stresses placed on those fingers during daily use. Nails respond not only to activity, but also to circulation, temperature, diet, and even stress. On average, a fingernail grows about 3 millimeters per month, taking roughly 6 months to fully renew. Your middle fingernail is often the fastest, quietly demonstrating the body's relentless push toward renewal, even at the smallest scale. Your eye is another marvel. With millions of cone cells in the retina, your eyes can distinguish over 10 million colors. These cells respond to light wavelengths, sending signals to your brain that allow you to perceive subtle gradients, from a golden sunset to the faintest differences between shades of green and blue. This extraordinary sensitivity evolved for survival, yet it also allows us to appreciate art, beauty, and design. Even more remarkable, your cornea, the transparent front of your eye, has no blood supply. It stays clear because it absorbs oxygen directly from the air, aided by a thin film of tears. Nutrients come from the fluid inside your eye, and this delicate system works silently, resting when you sleep, but functioning with astonishing precision during your waking hours. Your heart, small yet formidable, generates enough pressure to squirt blood over 30 feet. Every beat pushes blood through valves and arteries with perfect rhythm, over 100,000 times a day, from the moment you're born until your final breath. It is a muscular metronome, a quietly relentless engine that powers life through invisible channels. Even your height fluctuates throughout the day. You are slightly taller in the morning than in the evening, sometimes by half an inch. This is due to the cartilage in your spine and knees compressing under your weight during daily activities. At night, lying down relieves the pressure, allowing cartilage to reabsorb fluid and expand again, a subtle, daily rhythm of compression and release. While you sleep, your brain is far from idle. During rapid eye movement sleep, or REM, it can become even more active than when awake. Neural circuits consolidate memories, regulate emotions, and explore imagination, silently replaying and processing your day. Sleep is not stillness, it's an internal symphony of learning and restoration, where your mind rehearses possibilities and strengthens connections. Even more astonishing, your skeleton is entirely renewed every 10 years. Bones dissolve and rebuild quietly, reshaping and repairing themselves without your awareness. Beneath your calm exterior, your body is a living masterpiece of perpetual renewal, silently evolving from the inside out. Your bones may seem permanent, like carved stone, but beneath the surface, your skeleton is in constant motion. Every cell in your bones is gradually replaced through a process called remodeling. Old bone dissolves and is reabsorbed, while new bone forms in its place. Over the span of a decade, your entire skeleton is renewed. This ongoing cycle responds to how you live. Weight-bearing exercise stimulates growth, while inactivity leads to loss. Your skeleton is not just maintained, it is continuously engineered in real time, adapting to the stresses, hormones, and nutrition of your daily life, silently reshaping itself as you move through the world. Even in darkness, your body emits light, though it is far too faint for human eyes. The human body glows softly, a bioluminescent byproduct of metabolic activity. Tiny photons are released when high-energy molecules react with oxygen, producing faint flashes invisible to us, but detectable with sensitive instruments. The glow ebbs and flows with your circadian rhythm, peaking in the late afternoon. Your body is not just alive, it is quietly luminous, broadcasting its inner fire in rhythms too subtle to see. Your nervous system is a highway of astonishing speed. Nerve impulses can travel faster than a Formula One car, racing along neurons at over 250 miles per hour. This is made possible by the myelin sheath, which insulates nerves and allows electrical signals to leap from node to node. These rapid transmissions enable you to react instantly, pulling your hand from a hot surface or catching a falling object in the blink of an eye. Beneath your skin, a lightning network is firing constantly, orchestrating sensation, movement, and awareness. Your sense of smell is far more powerful than previously imagined. Once thought to distinguish only around 10,000 scents, the human nose can likely identify up to 1 trillion. Within your nasal cavity, roughly 400 types of olfactory receptors detect specific molecules in the air. Signals from these receptors combine to form a vast language of scent, allowing you to perceive the freshness of rain, the memory of a loved one's perfume, or the warning of smoke, all often without conscious thought. Your nose is not passive, it is a living library, reading the world invisibly and continuously. Even as your skeleton stops growing taller, it remains dynamic. Bones thicken and adapt throughout life, responding to stress, activity, and motion. Weightlifting, physical labor, or repetitive motion stimulates density and broadening, subtly reshaping the jaw, pelvis, and rib cage over time. Your bones are reactive, resilient, and continuously remodeling, silent evidence that your body never truly stops evolving. The human body is astonishingly adaptable. You can survive without a surprisingly large number of internal organs. 1 kidney, 1 lung, your spleen, gallbladder, appendix, stomach, colon, or even portions of your liver and small intestine can be removed, and the body often adapts, compensates, and heals. The liver regenerates, the remaining kidney works harder, and the system recalibrates. This resilience is a testament to millions of years of evolutionary design. Though every organ serves a purpose, your body is built to persist, even when incomplete. Finally, consider your intestines stretching over 20 feet in length, a complex twisting system of digestion, absorption, and microbial life. Your gut is both fortress and laboratory, quietly processing nutrients, defending against pathogens, and housing a microbial ecosystem essential to your health. Coiled intricately within your abdomen, your intestines stretch over 20 feet, folded and packed with astonishing precision. The small intestine alone accounts for 15 to 20 feet, absorbing nutrients from the food you eat. The large intestine, or colon, adds several more feet, reclaiming water and compacting waste into a manageable form. Despite this incredible length, all of it fits neatly inside your torso, folded and tucked by muscular contractions. If you were to uncoil it, it could span across an entire small room. Food moves along this labyrinthine path in just a matter of hours, a silent, ceaseless journey of digestion, transformation, and absorption. Every day, you carry this complex pipeline within you, quietly sustaining every cell of your body. Inside your stomach lies a fluid more potent than you might imagine. Gastric acid, primarily hydrochloric acid, has a pH between 1.5 and 3, strong enough to corrode metal. Laboratory tests show that given time, it can even dissolve thin steel razor blades. Yet your stomach remains unharmed. A protective mucus layer coats its walls, constantly renewing, ensuring your own tissue isn't consumed by the very acid that digests your food. Every meal triggers this chemical storm, a precise, controlled fire breaking down nutrients into their fundamental building blocks so life can continue. Speaking of mucus, you produce about 1 liter each day. Though often overlooked, it is one of your body's most versatile defenders. It lines your respiratory and digestive tracts, trapping dust, bacteria, and allergens before they reach vital tissues. It keeps your airways moist, guides food through your intestines, and even carries enzymes and antibodies to fight infection. Most of the time, you swallow it without thinking. Silent, slippery, essential. Mucus is the unsung guardian of your inner world. Your eyes are in constant motion, even when you don't notice. You blink roughly 20 times per minute, more than 10 million times per year. Each blink lasts only a fraction of a second, but it refreshes tear film, protects your eyes from dust, and allows your brain to edit out darkness, creating a seamless perception of the world. Blinking is not just reflex, it is a rhythm of life, maintaining clarity, comfort, and vision without ever interrupting your sight. Even when at rest, your muscles are never truly idle. They maintain a subtle tension called muscle tone, keeping you upright, balanced, and ready to move. This baseline contraction is orchestrated by your nervous system. Without it, you would collapse or slump. Even during sleep, most muscles maintain enough tone to align your limbs and stabilize your breathing. Only in the deepest stages of rest do some muscles fully relax. Beneath your skin, a quiet hum of readiness persists, a gentle, ceaseless maintenance of your form. Your heart is the ultimate engine of endurance. Beating roughly 100,000 times per day, it circulates blood through more than 60 meters of vessels, totaling over 35 million beats a year and more than 2.5 billion over a lifetime. From the womb to your final breath, it contracts, fills, and releases without pause. It adapts silently, slowing during sleep, quickening with movement, fluttering with emotion. The heart is the steady percussion of your life, a rhythm that quietly sustains every moment of your existence. Even your tongue is uniquely yours. Like fingerprints, no two tongue prints are alike. Every ridge, groove, and subtle muscle shape is a personal signature, a silent signature of who you are. Just like your fingerprints, your tongue carries a pattern entirely unique to you. Every ridge, groove, and subtle muscle shape is a personal signature. While tongue prints aren't commonly used for identification, biometric researchers have explored their potential for secure recognition systems. Your tongue is more than an identifier. It is a precision instrument. From shaping speech to guiding chewing, tasting, and swallowing, it performs complex tasks with remarkable sensitivity and control. Quietly, it bears your individuality, a living signature hidden in plain sight. Your body is made of stardust. Every atom heavier than hydrogen, the carbon in your cells, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, was forged in the hearts of ancient stars. When these massive stars exploded in supernova billions of years ago, they scattered the elements across the cosmos. Those atoms drifted through space, eventually forming planets, oceans, and life itself. The material that now makes you was once part of a star, floating in the cold void, before becoming part of Earth and ultimately of you. You are not just matter, you are history, time, and the legacy of the universe itself. Your brain contains a network more complex than the stars in the Milky Way. With around 86 billion neurons, each forming thousands of connections, the total number of synapses exceeds 100 trillion, more than the galaxy's stars. These connections are the foundation of memory, perception, movement, and emotion. They shift, strengthen, or fade in response to your experiences. Your brain is never static. It is a living, rewiring map, constantly adapting. Every thought, every memory sends pulses through this cosmic web, a universe of electricity and connection inside your skull. Even without external input, your brain can conjure entire realities. In darkness or silence, neural circuits can create vivid hallucinations, sights, sounds, and experiences that feel real despite the absence of stimulus. During dreams, sensory deprivation, or certain neurological states, the brain activates the same regions it would for actual perception. In essence, your mind is a self-contained simulator, capable of generating entire worlds from within. Goosebumps are a living echo of your evolutionary past. Tiny muscles at the base of hair follicles contract in response to cold or emotion, raising hairs and dimpling the skin. For our ancestors, this reaction fluffed up body hair to trap warmth or make them appear larger in moments of danger. Today, with less body hair, goosebumps are vestigial, a reminder of instincts wired into your nervous system for millions of years. Inside each of your trillions of cells, your DNA is constantly unspooling and rewinding. Strands nearly 2 meters long are tightly coiled into chromosomes, yet every day they dynamically open to allow genes to be read, copied, and repaired. Enzymes unzip and rewrite these sequences billions of times across your body. Your DNA is not a static code. It is a living library, constantly edited, read, and renewed in real time. Even your bones are never truly still. They are in a state of constant mineral turnover. Osteoclasts break down old bone, while osteoblasts lay down fresh layers enriched with calcium and other minerals. This ongoing exchange regulates calcium in your bloodstream, supports muscle contraction, nerve impulses, and heartbeat, and keeps your skeleton strong. Bone is not just structure, it is a living mineral bank, quietly balancing the needs of your body day after day. Your saliva works tirelessly, producing enough each year to fill 2 bathtubs. Each swallow, word, or taste triggers its release. On average, your salivary glands secrete 1 to 2 liters daily. This clear fluid begins digestion, protects teeth, lubricates food, and fights microbes. It even enhances taste, delivering compounds to your buds for subtle flavor detection. Saliva is unassuming, yet indispensable, a quiet, constant multitasker, sustaining and defending your body around the clock. Your brain cannot feel pain. It can even be operated on while you're fully awake. Despite being the command center for sensing pain throughout your body, the brain itself contains no pain receptors. Surgeons can touch, probe, or even cut brain tissue without causing any sensation. That's why certain procedures are performed with patients conscious, allowing them to speak, move, or recall memories while surgeons navigate vital areas. Pain during headaches or injuries comes not from the brain, but from surrounding structures, blood vessels, meninges, and other tissues. The irony is striking. The organ that perceives pain cannot experience it, a silent observer quietly orchestrating sensation. Your gut has its own nervous system, effectively a second brain. Lining your digestive tract is a network of over 100 million neurons, known as the enteric nervous system. It governs digestion, absorption, and the rhythmic movement of food with remarkable independence from the central brain. This second brain senses contents, releases enzymes, and triggers feelings like nausea or fullness. Astonishingly, it also produces neurotransmitters such as serotonin, linking digestion directly to mood and emotion. Your gut is not just processing food, it is thinking, feeling, and communicating in ways you rarely notice. Balance comes from a hidden, fluid-filled world inside your inner ears. 3 tiny, curved canals lined with microscopic hair cells detect every tilt, turn, and rotation of your head. As the fluid inside shifts, these hairs bend, sending signals to your brain about direction, speed, and orientation. This vestibular apparatus works with your eyes and muscles to help you walk upright, stabilize your gaze, and sense where you are in space. When disrupted, it can cause dizziness or vertigo, but when functioning normally, it provides a constant, invisible sense of equilibrium. You breathe through only one nostril at a time, and it switches automatically. Although it feels like both nostrils draw air equally, your body favors one side for a few hours before alternating, a rhythm called the nasal cycle. Changes in blood flow slightly narrow one nostril while opening the other, optimizing airflow, humidity, and scent detection. Some smells are best captured with a slow, steady breath. Others require rapid intake. Your brain manages this subtle cycle without your awareness, even while you sleep. Tiny hairs deep inside your inner ear detect not just sound, but the direction it comes from. Within the spiral-shaped cochlea, thousands of microscopic hair cells respond to vibrations in fluid. Each is tuned to a specific frequency, like a piano key. When sound waves bend these hairs, they convert the motion into electrical signals your brain interprets. The brain also compares timing and intensity between ears to locate sources of sound. Some people can hear their own bodies in extraordinary detail. In rare cases of superior canal dehiscence syndrome, a small hole in one inner ear canal allows sound to travel differently. Patients can hear their heartbeat, footsteps, chewing, and even the subtle movements of their own eyes. While disorienting, this reveals the ear's incredible sensitivity and the brain's remarkable filtering system. Most of the time, your internal sounds are gently ignored, allowing you to focus on the outside world. The human ear can detect frequencies ranging from 20 to 20,000 hertz. Low tones vibrate more than they are heard. High tones, sharp and precise, stretch the limits of perception. This range lets you experience the deep resonance of a cello and the delicate shimmer of birdsong. Over time, the upper range declines slightly, but your hearing still spans nearly 10 musical octaves, far more than most animals. Every note, every whisper, every vibration is translated with astonishing speed and precision into the neural language of your brain. Your eyes are never quite the same size throughout life. While they may seem unchanging, your eyes grow and evolve over time. At birth, an infant's eyes are roughly 2/3 the size of an adult's. Throughout childhood, they gradually expand, approaching adult dimensions in the teenage years. But even in adulthood, subtle changes continue. The lens thickens with age, the muscles around the iris may weaken, and the shape of the eyeball can shift slightly. These quiet transformations can affect how light is focused, sometimes causing farsightedness or other changes in vision. Though your eyes may appear static, they are in fact dynamic, adapting slowly to the long arc of life. Bones stop growing in length by your late 20s, yet your face continues to change. By this time, growth plates close, long bones reach their final dimensions, and height stabilizes. But the bones of the skull are far from frozen. The jaw may subtly reshape, the nose can grow more prominent, and eye sockets can deepen. Meanwhile, soft tissues, muscles, fat pads, and skin shift and lose volume over time, altering the contours of your face. These changes are slow, nearly imperceptible day by day, but they reflect a continuous sculpting process that carries the story of time in your very bones. Your liver performs over 500 separate functions. Weighing roughly 3 pounds and nestled beneath your ribs, this remarkable organ is a biochemical powerhouse. It filters toxins from your blood, produces bile to aid digestion, metabolizes fats and proteins, stores glycogen, regulates blood clotting, balances hormones, and even supports immune defense. Unlike many organs, it operates on dozens of tasks simultaneously, a silent control center running around the clock. What's more, it can regenerate, rebuilding itself cell by cell if damaged. The liver is tireless, adaptable, and essential. Life without it is impossible. Life with it is remarkably resilient. Red blood cells carry oxygen but have no nucleus. Most cells in your body contain a nucleus, but mature red blood cells discard theirs to make room for hemoglobin, the iron-rich protein that binds oxygen. This design allows each cell to transport far more oxygen than if it retained a nucleus. Shaped like a concave disc, red blood cells are flexible enough to squeeze through capillaries thinner than human hair. Yet this efficiency comes at a cost. They cannot divide or repair themselves. After roughly 120 days, they are removed and replaced. Each cell is short-lived yet indispensable, a tiny courier carrying life-giving oxygen throughout your body. Your body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap. Beyond energy storage, fat insulates your organs, regulates hormones, and cushions your tissues. While it serves countless vital functions inside you, if rendered down and processed, the average adult's body fat could produce 7 full-size soap bars. It is a silent reservoir of energy, protection, and chemical balance, working constantly without fanfare. This curious comparison to soap comes from history, when early soap making involved animal fat mixed with lye. But your fat is far more than material. It is metabolically active tissue. Fat releases hormones, communicates with other systems, and responds to stress. Its distribution and function vary depending on sex, genetics, and lifestyle. Often misunderstood or maligned, fat is essential. Without it, the body cannot function properly, and life itself becomes fragile instead of resilient. A single strand of hair can hold remarkable weight. Though it appears delicate, one hair can support up to 100 grams, roughly the weight of a small apple. This strength comes from its internal structure, tightly coiled layers of keratin proteins bonded together. Across the entire scalp, human hair could support the weight of an adult. Hair is also highly elastic, stretching up to 30% of its length when wet and returning to its original form without damage. Alone, it seems fragile, but together, hair forms one of nature's most efficient and resilient fiber systems, light, flexible, and quietly powerful. The longest muscle in your body runs from hip to knee. The sartorius muscle stretches diagonally across the thigh, originating at the outer hip and ending near the inside of the knee. Though slender, it plays an elegant role in daily movement, flexing the hip, bending the knee, rotating the leg outward. It lets you cross your legs or pivot your foot with ease. Its length and positioning are a quiet testament to the body's architectural brilliance. Long lines engineered for motion, balance, and subtle control. Smiling is a surprisingly complex act. Over 30 muscles coordinate to lift the corners of your mouth, crease the skin around your eyes, raise your cheeks, and adjust your jaw. Some are voluntary, others automatic, responding to genuine emotion. Each smile, from joy to irony, is a delicate performance, mechanical, emotional, and deeply human. Some blood vessels are so narrow that red blood cells must pass through one at a time. Your circulatory system extends over 60,000 miles, yet its most critical passages are microscopic. Capillaries are only 1 cell thick, allowing oxygen and nutrients to diffuse efficiently into tissues while waste is carried away. Blood moves not in torrents, but in precise, intimate trickles. Life is sustained not by the heart alone, but by these silent, single-file exchanges deep within your tissues. The brain has no pain receptors, though the tissues surrounding it do. Despite being the control center for sensing pain throughout your body, the brain itself cannot feel injury. Neurosurgeons can operate on the living brain while the patient is awake without causing pain. Yet headaches, trauma, or swelling can be excruciating because the meninges, scalp, blood vessels, and nerves are rich with pain receptors. The paradox is striking. An organ responsible for all sensation cannot feel itself. It is a silent observer behind every feeling. Your body is a mosaic of life, composed of roughly 37 trillion cells. These cells come in more than 200 specialized types. Skin cells form barriers, neurons transmit signals, blood cells deliver oxygen. Each contains the full human genome, a complete blueprint of life, though only a subset of genes is active in each cell. They work in coordinated patterns, continually renewing tissues and maintaining life. Every moment, countless cells organize themselves into muscles, bones, organs, and thought itself, an invisible society working in unity beneath your skin. Every cell contains roughly 2 meters of DNA. Packed inside each nucleus, this genetic material is folded with extraordinary precision, fitting 2 meters of double helix into a space just 6 microns wide. These strands carry the instructions for life, a dense library of information operating silently within every living cell. Your DNA winds around proteins called histones, forming coils within coils, thread wrapped around a microscopic spool. If you unraveled the DNA from every single cell in your body and stretched it end to end, it would reach the sun and back hundreds of times. Yet within your cells, it remains carefully tucked away, orchestrating protein production, guiding development, and recording the molecular memory of life. Your genetic code is not just long, it is intricately, exquisitely organized. Bones are far from lifeless scaffolding. Inside their hard outer shells lies a soft, spongy interior filled with bone marrow, a dynamic tissue where blood cells are born. This marrow houses hematopoietic stem cells capable of becoming red blood cells, white blood cells, or platelets. Bones are also home to osteoblasts and osteoclasts, cells that constantly rebuild and reshape the skeletal framework. Blood vessels thread through bone, nourishing it from within. Even the dense outer layers respond to stress, injury, and hormones. Your bones are living, responsive organs, quietly pulsing with life from the inside out. Inside your digestive tract exists a world unto itself. Trillions of microbes, bacteria, viruses, and fungi outnumber your own human cells and collectively weigh around 3 pounds, roughly the weight of your brain. Known as the gut microbiome, this ecosystem helps digest food, produce vitamins, regulate inflammation, and influence mood and cognition. Shaped by diet, environment, and early life, it is unique to you, a microbial fingerprint. More than half your body is not human. Only about 43% of your cells carry human DNA. The rest belong to bacteria, archaea, fungi, and viruses. These microscopic partners perform essential tasks, from digestion to immune training, and many have co-evolved with humans for millions of years. You are not a singular organism, but a living partnership of human and microbe, intricately entwined. Every day, your body replaces roughly 330 billion cells, nearly 1% of your total. Red blood cells, skin cells, gut lining cells, and immune defenders are dismantled and renewed without thought or sensation. Stem cells divide, differentiate, and migrate to where they are needed. The body you fall asleep in tonight is not the same as the one you woke up in this morning. You are not fixed in time. You are flowing, cell by cell, through a river of renewal. Muscles, too, carry memory. Even after long periods of inactivity, they retain a cellular imprint of previous workouts. Regular exercise increases muscle size, strength, and the number of nuclei within cells. These extra nuclei persist even if muscles shrink from disuse, allowing strength to return faster when you resume training. This memory is not stored in the brain. It is embedded within the muscle itself. Your muscles remember effort. They remember movement. They remember you. Your muscles remember resilience. Even after long periods of inactivity, given time and care, they know how to return to strength. Hair and nails do not continue to grow after death, despite popular myth. What appears as post-mortem growth is actually skin retracting as the body dehydrates. Hair and nail growth require active metabolism, which ceases once cells die. The illusion persists because of this subtle contraction, but it is a matter of physics, not mystery. The body isn't growing, it's simply changing shape in stillness. White blood cells navigate the body like living GPS units. When infection or injury occurs, these immune cells don't wander aimlessly. They follow chemical signals in a process called chemotaxis, honing in on sites of damage or microbial invasion. Once they arrive, they engulf bacteria, release enzymes, and summon reinforcements. This precise, silent coordination happens every hour of every day. Your immune system is not just reactive, it is intelligent, directional, and constantly patrolling your internal landscape. You carry evolutionary relics in your own body. Hidden beneath your skin are tiny muscles called auricular muscles, vestiges from ancestors who could swivel their ears to locate sounds. Most of us cannot move them consciously, yet they remain as quiet reminders of a time when mobile ears were a survival advantage. They are living echoes of our evolutionary past. Taste buds are short-lived but constantly renewed. These sensory clusters, primarily on your tongue, detect sweetness, bitterness, salt, and more. Exposed to heat, friction, and food, they wear out rapidly. Every 10 to 14 days, new taste receptor cells arise from basal cells at the base of each bud, moving upward to restore your sense of flavor. The foods you enjoy today are perceived by cells that didn't exist just weeks ago, a reminder that even your experiences of taste are in constant renewal. Your fingertips are extraordinary sensory hubs. Thousands of nerve endings densely packed beneath the skin detect pressure, texture, vibration, temperature, and pain with astonishing precision. They can feel surfaces less than a micron thick and distinguish subtle differences in texture. The brain dedicates a disproportionately large area of its sensory map to your fingertips, reflecting their importance. When you touch the world, your fingers do more than sense. They interpret and translate the physical into thought. Your heartbeat is protected by a natural backup system. The sinoatrial node sets your rhythm, but if it fails, other clusters like the atrioventricular node and specialized fibers take over, slower but still effective. This hierarchy ensures that even in moments of stress or failure, your heart continues to beat. Your pulse is not only automatic, it is safeguarded by design. Skin is your body's largest and most versatile organ, covering roughly 20 square feet in an average adult. Weighing around 8 pounds, it protects you from pathogens, regulates temperature, detects touch, and synthesizes vitamin D. Composed of 3 layers, the outer epidermis, the supportive dermis, and the inner hypodermis, skin houses blood vessels, nerves, sweat glands, and hair follicles. It regenerates continuously, shedding and renewing itself every month. This constant renewal makes skin your frontline defense, your thermal shield, and your primary interface with the world, always sensing, always protecting. Even at rest, your body loses significant water. Through insensible water loss, moisture escapes with every breath, and tiny amounts evaporate through your skin, even when the air is dry and cool. Over the course of a single day, this amounts to nearly a liter of water, a quiet reminder of the body's relentless, unseen activity. Your muscles remember resilience. Even after long periods of inactivity, given time, they retain the memory of strength and know how to rebuild themselves. Hair and nails do not continue growing after death, despite a persistent myth. The appearance of post-mortem growth is actually caused by dehydration. As the body loses moisture, the skin around the hair and nails retracts slightly, making them seem longer. Growth requires active metabolism, which ceases when the heart stops and cells die. The body isn't growing, it's simply changing shape in stillness, guided by the quiet physics of drying and decay. White blood cells act like an internal GPS, tracking down infections with precision. When your body detects injury or invading microbes, these immune cells follow chemical signals released by damaged tissues. This process, called chemotaxis, guides them directly to the source, where they engulf pathogens, release enzymes, and summon reinforcements. It all happens silently, invisibly, every hour of every day. Your immune system isn't just reactive, it's intelligent, directional, and constantly scanning your internal landscape for danger.
Hidden beneath your skin are vestigial muscles once used by our ancestors to wiggle their ears. Known as auricular muscles, they allowed mobile ears to detect sound direction. While most humans can no longer move them consciously, these tiny muscles remain as evolutionary relics, a quiet souvenir of our biological past, a whisper of the bodies that came before us. Taste buds are ephemeral, replaced every 10 to 14 days. These tiny sensory clusters on your tongue detect sweetness, bitterness, salt, and more. Exposed to heat, friction, and constant use, they wear out quickly. New taste receptor cells grow from basal cells at the base of each bud and gradually move upward, restoring your sense of flavor. The foods you enjoy today are perceived by cells that didn't exist just weeks ago, a constant cycle of renewal that keeps your taste alive and sharp. Your fingertips are extraordinary sensory hubs, packed with thousands of specialized nerve endings. They detect pressure, texture, vibration, temperature, and pain with astonishing precision, able to sense textures smaller than a micron or feel subtle differences between surfaces. The brain dedicates a large portion of its sensory map to your fingertips, prioritizing them over much larger areas of the body. When you touch the world, your fingers do more than sense. They interpret, translate, and connect the physical to thought. Your heartbeat is safeguarded by a natural hierarchy. The sinoatrial node in your right atrium sets your rhythm, but if it fails, backup pacemakers like the atrioventricular node and specialized fibers take over, slightly slower but still effective. This built-in redundancy ensures that your heart continues to beat even in emergencies. Your pulse isn't just automatic, it's protected by design. Skin is your body's largest organ, covering roughly 20 square feet in an average adult and weighing about 8 pounds. It shields you from bacteria, regulates temperature, detects touch, and produces vitamin D in response to sunlight. Composed of 3 layers, the epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis, it houses blood vessels, nerves, sweat glands, and hair follicles. Skin regenerates constantly, shedding and renewing itself every month. It is your frontline defense, thermal insulator, and primary interface with the world. Always sensing, always protecting. Even when you're at rest, your body loses significant water. Through a process called insensible water loss, moisture escapes with every breath, and tiny amounts evaporate through your skin, even in cool, dry conditions. Over the course of a day, this adds up to nearly a liter of water, a quiet reminder of the body's ceaseless, invisible activity. More water is lost if the air is warm, dry, or if you're physically active. You don't feel it leaving, and you can't see it, but it's always happening. This silent evaporation is a constant exchange with your environment, as natural as the rise and fall of your breath. It's a reminder of why hydration is vital. Even at rest, your body is gently disappearing into the air. Your body contains trace amounts of gold. Scattered throughout your bloodstream are roughly 2 milligrams of this precious metal. These atoms aren't decorative, they play subtle biological roles, participating in enzyme activity and contributing to joint health. Bound within proteins and molecules, this gold is part of a family of trace metals like zinc, copper, and iron. All of these elements originated from the Earth and, ultimately, from ancient stellar explosions that seeded our solar system. The gold in your body isn't enough to mine, but it is a quiet cosmic signature. Precious, rare, and universal. Many of your bones are hollow, yet incredibly strong. Long bones in your arms and legs are not solid. Their cores are filled with bone marrow. Hollow bones might seem fragile, but their design is brilliant. Lighter than solid bone, they make movement efficient, while their compact outer layers are dense and strong, capable of withstanding extraordinary force. Inside, trabecular or spongy bone distributes stress, much like the framework of a bridge. This balance of strength and lightness is so effective that engineers study it when designing aircraft or buildings. Your skeleton isn't just structural, it's optimized architecture, shaped over millions of years for strength, speed, and survival. Each of your kidneys contains around 1 million tiny filters. These fist-sized organs pack an astonishing network of nephrons, microscopic filtration units that clean your blood with precision. Blood flows in, wastes are removed, essential compounds are reabsorbed, and urine is produced. Every day, your kidneys filter roughly 50 gallons of blood, drop by drop, balancing electrolytes, water, and nutrients with exacting efficiency. Small but mighty, these organs quietly sustain your internal environment minute by minute. Your brain consumes more energy than any other organ, up to 20% of your body's total supply. Despite weighing only about 2% of your body mass, it drives the firing of billions of neurons, powers complex chemical signaling, and sustains thought, memory, and emotion. Even when you appear at rest, your brain burns energy steadily, relying on a constant flow of glucose and oxygen delivered by a dense vascular network. Awareness may feel effortless, but it is underpinned by a relentless current of biological power fueling your inner fire. A fetus can heal wounds without leaving scars. In the womb, human skin regenerates perfectly after injury, restoring tissue without fibrosis or permanent marks. Fetal cells respond differently to damage compared to adult cells, orchestrating seamless repair with minimal inflammation. After birth, this ability diminishes as collagen production, immune response, and cellular behavior shift. Scientists study fetal healing in the hope of one day unlocking scarless repair in adults, a glimpse into the body's hidden potential to restore perfectly, invisibly, as if injury had never occurred. Your tears are chemically distinct depending on why you cry. Not all tears are the same. This detoxification happens continuously, quietly protecting you from daily exposures. The liver is both vigilant and versatile. It handles drugs, metabolic waste, and even environmental chemicals before you are aware of any danger. Yet it has limits. Overload, chronic damage, or certain poisons can overwhelm it, but under normal conditions it acts as a silent guardian, working day and night to preserve the delicate chemistry of your body. Your stomach regenerates its lining every few days. Inside this acidic chamber, powerful gastric juices break down proteins, fats, and carbohydrates, yet your stomach rarely digests itself. The secret lies in a layer of mucus, constantly renewed to protect the tissue beneath. Every few days, the stomach lining completely replaces itself, a cycle of destruction and renewal that keeps you safe while it performs its harsh chemical work. You can detect 1 trillion different scents. Your nose is far more sophisticated than it seems. Humans can perceive a vast array of odors thanks to about 400 types of olfactory receptors. These receptors bind to molecules and send signals to the brain, creating the perception of smell. The combinations are virtually limitless, allowing you to distinguish subtle differences between foods, environments, and even individual people. Smell is a hidden library of information, quietly cataloging the world in chemical signatures. Your bones are constantly remodeling themselves. Osteoclasts break down old bone tissue, while osteoblasts lay down new layers enriched with minerals. This process balances calcium levels, repairs microdamage, and strengthens bones where stress is greatest. Even the skeleton is dynamic, not static, an architectural system continuously tuned to your lifestyle, activity, and environment.
The human eye can distinguish over 10 million colors. Tiny photoreceptors in the retina detect variations in wavelength and intensity, sending information to the brain where it is processed into the rich visual tapestry of the world. Your perception of color is subjective, shaped by biology, lighting, and experience, yet the system is precise enough to detect differences invisible to machines. Every glance you take is a complex chemical and electrical symphony, rendering a universe of hue and tone in an instant. Your body is a symphony of timing, adaptation, and resilience. Cells regenerate, nerves fire, organs coordinate, and hidden systems perform miracles quietly. Every heartbeat, every breath, every flicker of thought is supported by layers upon layers of astonishing biological engineering. And yet, most of it happens without awareness. You carry a universe within yourself, organizing, self-healing, constantly renewing, and endlessly fascinating. Your bones are alive and constantly sensing stress. Tiny cells called osteocytes act like microscopic engineers, detecting pressure, strain, and even tiny fractures. They send signals to osteoblasts and osteoclasts to remodel the bone, strengthening it where needed and dissolving it where stress is low. Your skeleton is not merely a scaffold, it is a living structure, continuously adapting to how you move, what you lift, and how you live. Your lungs can hold more air than you realize. The average adult lung has a surface area roughly the size of a tennis court when spread out across the alveoli. These tiny sacs, just half a millimeter wide, allow oxygen to diffuse into the blood with remarkable efficiency. Every breath fills millions of alveoli, which collapse and expand thousands of times a day, silently exchanging gases to sustain life. You don't notice this constant motion, but it is your most intimate and vital interaction with the air around you. Your nervous system can transmit signals faster than a race car. Electrical impulses in neurons can travel up to 250 miles per hour along axons, racing from your spine to your fingertips or toes in milliseconds. This rapid communication allows reflexes to save you from harm, hands to withdraw from hot surfaces, and your body to maintain balance without conscious thought. Beneath your skin, a storm of tiny electrical currents is constantly flowing, connecting every part of you with astonishing speed. Your bones, heart, and muscles communicate chemically. Every movement, every contraction, every heartbeat is coordinated not just by nerves, but by chemical signals in the form of hormones, cytokines, and growth factors. Muscles release myokines that influence distant organs. Bones release osteocalcin, affecting metabolism. Your body functions as a vast network of chemical conversations, billions of messages sent every second, unseen and unfelt, yet orchestrating your life in seamless harmony. You can see in near darkness, but only partially. Rod cells in your retina are exquisitely sensitive to light and allow you to perceive shapes and motion in dim conditions. They cannot detect color, but they amplify faint photons into signals your brain can interpret. In near darkness, your eyes become two tiny sensors in a vast universe of shadow, capturing the barest hints of light and transforming them into perception. Your body stores memories in molecules as well as in neurons. Long-term memory is not just electrical. It involves chemical changes in synapses, the strengthening or weakening of connections, and the modification of proteins that influence how signals are passed. Molecular tags, RNA signals, and epigenetic markers all contribute to the story of what you've learned, remembered, or experienced. Your body remembers in cells as much as your mind remembers in thoughts. Even your bones can store metals. Trace elements like zinc, copper, and manganese accumulate in your skeletal system. They act as cofactors for enzymes, structural components, and signals for bone growth. These minute quantities, often only milligrams, are essential for life. Your skeleton is not inert. It is a repository of chemistry, a library of elements quietly shaping metabolism and growth. Your body can survive without major organs for a surprisingly long time. People have lived with one kidney, one lung, half a liver, and even one hemisphere of the brain. Redundancy, plasticity, and regenerative ability make humans remarkably resilient. Organ systems can compensate for missing parts, reorganize function, and even adapt over time, revealing the body's hidden capacity for survival against incredible odds. Your skin produces natural antibiotics. Sebum and sweat contain antimicrobial peptides that fight bacteria, fungi, and viruses on contact. Your skin is more than a barrier. It is an active chemical defense system, protecting you silently from microbial invasion while interacting with the environment, microbes, and your own immune system. Your body is a constant miracle of renewal, adaptation, and self-protection. Every breath, every heartbeat, every flicker of thought or movement is supported by systems so intricate, resilient, and subtle that they escape notice even as they sustain you. From molecules to organs, neurons to microbiomes, your body is an orchestra of living, dynamic networks, an endlessly fascinating universe contained in flesh. Your bones are not eternal. They are constantly rebuilt, recycled, and reshaped. Every decade, your skeleton is renewed from within, a hidden process of dissolution and construction. Osteoclasts break down old bone. Osteoblasts build new. Minerals like calcium and phosphorus are redeployed, carried silently through blood to where they are needed. What seems permanent is actually dynamic, a living lattice responding to stress, movement, and age. Your skeleton is never truly static. It flows in quiet cycles, quietly preserving your structure even as it evolves. Your intestines can think in their own way. The enteric nervous system, your second brain, contains more neurons than the spinal cord. It regulates digestion, monitors nutrient absorption, and coordinates peristalsis without input from your brain. It can sense toxins, trigger nausea, and even influence mood through neurotransmitters like serotonin. Your gut is not just a digestive tube, it is a semi-autonomous organ, constantly calculating, adjusting, and communicating, a silent partner in your body's intelligence. Your eyes blink without conscious thought thousands of times a day. Each blink spreads tears to lubricate, cleanse, and protect the surface of your eyes. It is automatic, yet essential. A quiet maintenance routine performed without thought. Even in sleep, your eyes can execute microblinks, small movements that help keep the cornea healthy. Your liver regenerates like nothing else. Remove part of it, and over weeks, it can grow back to full size. This regenerative capacity is unique among human organs, relying on hepatocytes to divide and restore function. Every day, this organ processes toxins, metabolizes nutrients, and secretes bile, quietly maintaining chemical harmony. Its power is both immense and invisible. Your neurons speak in bursts of electricity and waves of chemistry. Each thought, each sensation is the result of complex interactions among neurons firing, neurotransmitters diffusing, and ion channels opening and closing. Your brain is both a storm and a calm, a place where signals ripple, collide, and flow in patterns that produce consciousness itself. Your fingernails grow fastest on your dominant hand. Even in their slow, silent growth, nails reflect activity, health, and environment. They respond to trauma, diet, and circulation. What seems trivial, a nail clipping, is actually a record of your body's constant, microscopic effort to maintain form and function. Your body is a living archive of experience. From the molecules in your DNA to the synapses in your brain, every action, every exposure, every moment leaves traces. Proteins fold in ways influenced by diet, exercise, and stress. Cells remember past damage and respond more efficiently to repeated challenges. Muscles carry memory of effort. Even bones remember the forces they have endured. You are not just flesh and blood. You are history in motion, biology in continuous performance, an organism that archives life as it lives it. You are never uniform in age. Some of your oldest cells reside in soft tissues, while your bones are younger than they appear. You are a mosaic of timelines, some ancient, some newly formed, stitched together in the flow of time. Human blood carries secrets beyond A, B, AB, or O. Over 30 blood group systems exist, each with unique molecular signatures. Rare types, like the Bombay blood type or golden blood, are found in only a handful of people worldwide. Your blood holds a story written in antigens, shaped by genetics, evolution, and chance. Your immune system remembers past battles. Memory B cells and T cells retain knowledge of pathogens for decades, sometimes a lifetime. Vaccines tap into this memory, training your body without illness. Every infection you survive becomes a living record, a chronicle of resilience etched into your cells. Your muscles hum with tiny electrical fields, even when still. Ions flow across membranes, currents detectable on the skin's surface. Electromyography can read these whispers. Even asleep, your muscles are quietly awake, poised and ready. Every heartbeat sends a pressure wave rippling through your arteries and into your brain. You don't feel it consciously, but your neurons sense it, subtly influencing attention, emotion, and perception. Heart and brain move in a silent duet, pulsing together, bound by blood, pressure, and rhythm. Even now, everything grows quieter. Heartbeats, lung movements, currents within cells, they continue, steady and faithful. Perhaps a feeling lingers, a quiet trace of awe, or maybe it's already fading. That is all right. You do not need to hold on. The body asks nothing of understanding. It simply lives, repairs, remembers, and holds you through stillness and change. Out there, the world turns. Inside, your galaxies shift, cells divide, currents flow, signals pulse in rhythms too small to name. Even in sleep, you are vast. Let your shoulders soften. Let your breath deepen. There is nothing more to do. The body will carry you the rest of the way. Under quiet stars, your story continues. Sleep softly. Dream deeply. Good night.